Well, yeah, it's interesting. It really is a tale of two battles here. Um, but but I think it's going to be really rough up near Dilworth. I suspect that, especially with all those skirmishers, it's going to be really hard for me to hold everybody at bay. But we'll find out.
Well, part of it will be just to see how much damage we can do on you in the remaining 4 turns that we have. So,
Yeah, because I mean that's probably the only thing. It's really just
Yeah.
the relative lack of time.
yep. So, yeah, because I'm looking
Yeah,
at my poor sods.
yeah, yeah. Well, definitely that part of the battle has gone pretty well for me.
Yeah.
Just did a whole lot of damage and most of my guys getting clean away. Not everybody, but that's all right. I think it was a fair trade anyway. So yeah, so let's see where we are. It is 7:40. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay,
Do we
7:40.
do we have a room open?
Well, I've just got us
Called
in.
Sharp Bayonets.
Yep, sharp bayonets is us.
Oh, that's us.
That's us. How many other
Don't
sharp
Uh,
know.
bayonets do you need?
Well, he did mention in the text to
Sharpen your
sharpen your
bayonets.
bayonets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I worry about that. You could put an eye out doing that. Don't know that that's really what you want.
Well,
Oh goodness. So
if you're going to have the rifle team come and practice, they better have their sharpened bayonets. That's all I can
oh
say.
my goodness. Yeah. Well, I think the riflemen are all dead. I'm happy to report.
There you go. Yes. What was that? Ferguson's rifles.
Ferguson's rifles.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not.
Ferguson's former rifles.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
I'm sure. I'm sure some farmer will find those and dig those up and sell them secondhand. So.
He'll probably sell them to, Ed Wimble. Just saying. All right. Well, so I guess it is 7:40. So there is no morale check. There is just diving right in with a +1 to the bad guys.
I have been right.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I will chuck some dice and we will see what we get.
Guess I need to bring up some charts and stuff here.
Oh, I know. I've got the same problem. I've got this big pile of charts over here. All right. Wow, I get a wing activation.
There
Oh,
you go.
I don't know what the heck to do with it. Um, Unfortunately, the one chart I was able to find was the American Order of Battle, so that could be kind of handy. Although I expect my units are also wiggled up, but I'm not really sure if that's actually going to be useful. Um, let's see. If I did Alexander's wing, that would include Nash and the 3rd Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's exactly who I'd like to. Now I just got to find. Now there's Alexander. He is right here. And of course, he's right next to George Washington. So he's clearly in command. So that's handy. Um, let's see. There's Nash here. And Conway is right here. No, that's Lafayette. Where's Conway? Conway's right here. The New Jersey Brigade, I think, have mostly run away. I think.
That was the first and third New Jersey, I think.
Yeah. Oh, but then there's that's the New Jersey Brigade commander right here. So even though he's got some units who've run away, yeah, that's definitely what I want to do. Alexander, I will activate. don't even need to roll because I actually finally have George Washington in the right place at the right time. What a deal. All right. Um, I think everybody should be in command because the 3rd Pennsylvania is here and here. And I think, yeah, and that New Jersey unit is actually in command from this guy. That's a 3rd Pennsylvania there. So yeah, everybody's in command. All right, so then we'll go to disorder recovery. I've got a leader here, Nash. So that will undisorder those fellas. And then we've got a leader here, which will undisorder them and take them down to just shaken. And let's see, who else have we got? We got a leader here, so we'll undisorder these guys. And what else have we got? Those guys are all shaken, so I can't do them any good. All right, well, I think that's it then. So I think everybody is everybody's where they ought to be. All right, so then time for movement. Well, time for firing first, I guess. Can't fire because we're at 2 hex range and it's nighttime, so we can't see you. Well, it's really a shame, but what can you do? So we will go ahead and just rotate these guys around, and I will rearrange them to put this half-dead unit at the bottom. Because, just because. All right. And let's see, what else do we need? We've got the 3rd Pennsylvania here and here. And that's New Jersey there. Okay. So if I want to move these guys forward, then I probably need a chart I don't have present at the moment.
This is your handy dandy movement chart.
Yeah, the handy dandy formation change chart that I naturally can't find. I'm just trying to figure out, because my guys are so bad at changing direction that sometimes it's actually maybe better off to actually go into line than it is to just change direction in column. Turning to the left would cost 2. Going into line to the left costs 2. That's what I mean to say. But we're all in the nighttime movement restrictions, right?
Yep. Right. So if you use more than half your movement, that's going to trigger a disorder check, is my understanding.
Right, and that's a +10 disorder check if memory serves. Okay. Wow. Boy, that's really annoying. Oh well, that's life. All right, so I guess this fellow will just go into line facing that way. That's 2 movement points. Imagine that. And
Which guy are you doing?
Was this fellow right here?
Just there, slightly west of Dilworth.
Yeah, sorry, I'm signaling him still there. I guess I will do the same thing with these guys here at the end of the line. I will just rotate them. And I'm trying to think of what to do with these fellas. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because my behavior here is very different than it would be ordinarily. Because ordinarily you take advantage of the extra speed you get with column, and then then you just change into formation at the last minute. But these guys are so slow changing directions that it's almost, I'm not even really convinced it makes a lot of sense. Might as well just go into line. By the time they're actually where the battle is going, the battle probably will have found them. So we'll see about that, I guess. All right, and then I guess if I'm gonna follow that whole line of thinking, that guy's already in line here, so I guess if I just do that, then that's his 2 movement points. And this guy here, I don't believe I will move at all. Just because since he's shaken, there's no point in getting him too close to trouble. So let's just go like that. All right. Well, I think we're in far better position there to be able to prepare for the onslaught. So let's see. That was
Alexander.
that was
All of
Alexander,
his ragtime band.
and Lafayette himself didn't activate. The New Jersey Brigade guy did activate.
Nash was part of it.
Nash activated. Yep, there we go. Okay. And then Conway also did. So, all right. So all those guys that activated are flipped over, and it's over to Eric to roll dice.
All right, here we go. Let's see how many special events we can get. Oh,
Why none at all?
yeah, we did push the.
You move the end turn marker
turn marker.
one,
There
and well, except that was a tie.
Yeah. Here we go.
So yeah, we got to go again.
Well, this
Okay,
time it's you, and it's another
move it.
end turn marker. Yeah.
Move it again.
Don't allow me to roll the dice anymore, David.
That seems pretty clear. Yeah. All right. Well, if that's the case, then I guess we probably need to activate. I think the command is actually Whedon down here, down to the south. He's got green with him, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like he's too far away from George Washington to get himself in command. So he's going to have to put himself in command. I will go ahead and roll.
They can't put themselves in command.
Oh, of course not. You're right. That's a good point. Oh. Good thing I clicked that 0 and 2 so we didn't have a special event. All right. So they're out of command. Let's see. I need to get out of the formation I'm in. And so I want to go from road column to march column. And so that's going to cost me 1 minimum. And I think only the artillery is in 2 hexes. So, yep. All right, so that's going to cost 1. And I guess I should actually have these guys facing the direction that they're supposed to be facing. And I will remove the road column from him. And so that's 1 movement point there. And if they went into line, that wouldn't work well at all, so never mind that. And then guess we'll just pull them all out of road column. And for these guys to come out of road column would actually take 2 movement points. And then for these guys, it's 1 movement point to come out of road column, and then we'll just go ahead and march them forward a little bit. There, that's 2 movement points now. All right, so that's it for them. And then we will send it over to David to throw dice.
See what you can come up with, David. It's nothing but American activations.
Good heavens, boys. Okay.
We're running out of daylight too.
What a nice problem to have. So here I am looking. I don't think that activating any of them makes any sense. So let's look down here. What do we got? Down south, facing our friends the Hessians, we got Humpton, who's in deep kimchi.
Nothing he can't handle with his one single.
With his 50 men?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he is 2nd Pennsylvania.
What's left?
Okay, and then that's 2nd Pennsylvania also. Okay, all right. That may be all of them that are left, huh?
Yeah, the others look like, well, there's a 2nd Pennsylvania Regiment, 1st Pennsylvania Regiment, I guess.
Oh,
back here that are routed.
Routed away, right. Okay, all right. Well, let's see. Well, I mean, we might as well make it sporting. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and go down fighting, right? So I guess I'll activate him. And let's see. So both of these units are the units themselves are in command. The leader is not in command. And then there are routed units that don't matter. We'll go to remove disorder. Whoops, that's weird. Remove disorder here. Whoops. My skills continue. Mad skills. Okay. I guess time for shooting, but it's a complete waste of time because it's 1 increment, which means it's going to be what, 4 to
20.
4 to 20. Is the marsh change that at all, or whatever we call that terrain?
Let's see. The marsh is still only just 10 times 2, so it's still
10 on the chart. Yeah. Okay, all right. So yeah, so clearly, really hardly any point in even worrying about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if voluntary routing makes any sense. I mean, it's only 1 increment. Who cares, right?
Well, in the big scheme of things, probably not a whole heck of a lot, but at least you'll save that 1 increment.
I guess so.
One less victory point for us, or
I suppose
the calculation
that's
is.
Yeah, it's some ratio based upon that, isn't it?
Yeah. And it could all just come down to that.
It could come down to that.
That one.
Just one moment of cold-bloodedness, and it cost us the game. That's probably what happens there. Yeah, it probably makes more sense. Because they're clearly not going to do any good there, and they're not even going to slow you down. I don't know. They are going to slow me down for. No, it's not because you're just going to move right after you shoot. All right, screw it. All right, so and what are we doing? Did they get marked with a route marker?
Correct.
Actually, though, can I do that with a unit that's shaken?
Well, they're almost already routed anyway.
Yeah, I know, I
Yeah,
know, I
you
know.
cannot voluntarily route a shaken unit.
Yeah, see, I didn't think so. That's well, I thought I would double check first because I'm actually looking for where it says that. Um,
I'm absolutely positive of that. And
no,
it should be in the it should be in the special rules.
oh, is it? Okay. Well, then that's probably why I'm not finding it because that's not where I'm looking. Um, route. Um, well, I keep waiting to find it, but I still
Yeah,
haven't. Before a unit is moved, activated infantry or cavalry will voluntarily route instead of moving. Uh,
maybe it is in the regular.
a command leader may be out of command, and units with his command range can still voluntarily route. A unit may voluntarily route regardless of its organizational and morale states, except that it cannot already be routed. Well, that makes sense. That was 19.10.a in the standard
Yep, page
rules.
38. I was reading it just as you
So
came across it too.
unless something contradicts that in the
Yeah,
game
okay, you
specific,
maybe, yeah.
yeah. Just I don't think it does.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything that would
Yeah.
prohibit it, unless there's something specifically in the Brandywine rules. But
No, I looked in the Brandywine rules. I didn't
yeah.
see anything there either. All right. So and how are we doing it? We're doing this with the marker, right?
Yes, so we put the route marker on it. So, for example, you've got some of the
Okay.
Pennsylvania back here is
Right.
voluntarily routed. These guys are involuntarily routed.
Right.
So that's the
Exactly.
difference is they have the marker on them.
Got it. Okay. Well then, let's see. We'll having voluntarily routed these guys, we will take the opportunity to move 2, 4, 6, 8, splashing through the whatever they call this.
The sogginess.
The sogginess, yeah, that's probably it. And then I'll just go ahead and move Wayne back here, and we'll leave those guys where they are. So I'm going to flip Wayne over. I'm going to flip whatever his silly name, Humpton, a horrible name. Flip him over, and I think that's it.
All right. Exciting
We're
stuff.
burning out the clock. I guess it's my turn to roll now.
Indeed.
Excellent.
Give us a chance to play.
Oh no! Okay. Shoot. Now. I'm trying to figure out who else needs to go somewhere. I mean, I could organize Muhlenberg back here with only 2 movement points at a time. I'm not really sure how easily I'm going to be able to do it, but I'll try it. And where is my terrain effects chart? chart because obviously this is some pretty complicated terrain I got over here.
It
There we
looks like
go.
you've got a regular slope, if I'm looking at that
That's,
correctly.
I believe it is a regular slope in front of the guns.
Yep.
So that's going to be +2. So it's going to be 3 just to get up there.
Right.
Not to say anything further. So I guess I will just do that and take my punishment in the form of a disorder check. We'll see what we get.
Oh, they're
Not a
happy.
problem. Not in the slightest bit of problem. Okay. All right. Those guys are already in position. Those guys aren't in position. These guys in road column, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing with them. Let's see. It would cost them 1 to come out of road. And then cost them half to move there, and that'll do for the moment. So that'll be it for them. And the other guys are just going to stay exactly where they are. So I will just flip him over, and it's over to you, Eric.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what we get. Well, at least we finally got an activation.
All right, and just in the nick of time for the looks of it, because you're about to run out of activations.
Yep.
Okay, well, now you guys get to thumb wrestle over who wants to go next.
Well, I'm going to defer to General Howe. I've already done enough damage to myself and the rebels.
I think so.
I think we need to let some other British suffer. We just can't let all the Hessian mercenaries take it on the chin.
No, I think that's definitely the right move because he's in a lot better position to do something useful than,
I
than
really
you
don't
guys
have
are.
much,
I mean,
yeah.
you're so far away from anybody
Yeah.
that I don't think it really does anything. So anyway, so you got 1 activation there, David.
Yeah. What to do?
Well, I understand Bristol's very nice this time of year. Maybe you should go there.
What, February in Bristol? I don't think so.
Well, no, I meant whatever time of year this is.
Yes.
I doubt they were fighting this battle in February. What was it? September.
Yeah.
September 11th. A
There you
date that
go.
didn't mean anything in particular then.
Nope.
Let's see. The restrictions with attack column.
Well, the attack column doesn't have as good a fire value. And it has what did it have? A limited zone of influence kind of a thing?
No, it's changing direction requires a disorder check every time
that's
you
what it
do.
was.
It's cumbersome in that sense, I guess.
Yeah. They hadn't learned from the French. Well, the French hadn't had a
Exactly.
revolution yet to show.
I was
them how
going to
do
say,
it.
right, the French themselves didn't know how to do it
Yeah.
at this point.
So, Michael, do they only
Yeah.
have just Brandywine, Germantown, and Monmouth
That's
for
right.
this? Okay.
For the American Revolution. That's right. And you know, I time is a funny thing when you're a war gamer because games come out so infrequently. But I don't know why, but I still think of these as kind of new, even though they're not remotely. In fact, what is this? This is like volume 4 of the whole series. Um, so so yeah, and I don't know that we're expecting any others. I think the ones that we're likely to see sooner are the battles for New France, which would be kind of similar in the
Right.
sense that they'd be much smaller battles in terms of the numbers of personnel involved, and probably more rugged terrain than you're used to in the European games. They'd all be back. Well, at least I think they'd all be back in the 7 Years' War, the French and Indian War, I would guess. Um, Although I guess it's possible that there are some from the Revolution. He could have just taken a little poetic license and called that New France, right?
Oh, as if so. Well, I mean, you don't have a lot of engagements to speak of. I mean, there's the Americans have a failed attempt to invade
Right.
Canada
Exactly.
during the Revolution, and again failed in the War of 1812. Um,
Right.
and the
I'm
only, I mean, the major, what is it? The major battle is it outside of Quebec? Is the Fields of Abraham there with General
well,
Wolfe, or is there some
yeah,
other
but that
bigger?
that that's from the French and
Yeah,
Indian
that's the
War,
French Indian
actually.
War.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't
So
think of anything else unless you got some frontier skirmishing stuff
yeah, I don't know. Here I am
really kind of going on about.
looking. Uh, I was hoping that he was going to say what battles he had in mind. Um, I'm struggling. I thought I saw him say somewhere what battles he had in mind, but I am really struggling to find it here.
Hmm.
Um, I see somebody else talking about the 1775 Battle of Quebec, um, but that's not him talking about it. It's somebody else. So I don't know. I feel like I searched plenty far back, but maybe I didn't. So I will try again, this time with feeling.
Hmm. Yeah, there's. I mean, there's not a lot of set piece battles. It's
No, I
mostly a
wouldn't.
lot of frontier stuff.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Well, David, what have
Now,
you decided to do? What exciting
Decided
activation?
that I'm trying to figure out just what I can even counting out different things here. Just
mm,
there. That-
yeah, I guess I'm utterly baffled. I am not finding mention of. Oh, wait a minute. Here's one. Battles for New France. Actually, the real hang up in this game for various reasons is the map. It has helped that I have migrated the map work to Illustrator, but I'm still having a hard time finding a good source whole map of the battlefield, which includes Quebec.
Huh.
But again, that could be Plains of Abraham, obviously. That
Right.
doesn't necessarily imply 1775. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's got something in mind. I just don't know what it is, and I'm having a hard time finding it. But that'd be interesting. I mean, because they would certainly be an opportunity to learn. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be like yet another Battle of the Bulge game where you already know the whole history and you're just playing a game
What?
about it.
What?
What?
Sacrilege.
What is all
How
this
dare
you're
you say
saying?
that?
It's true, and in fact, I really was thinking about that because I got GMT's The Spanish Civil War, and I really did it while I was reading a Spanish Civil War history, and it was great. And I kind of went through the whole exercise, and it played out similarly to the actual war, and I had a good time with it. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm done with this. I don't know that I ever have any reason to play it again.
Right.
So I sold it.
All right, I'm
So,
going to activate the fourth and all the independent.
alrighty.
So the only restriction right now, since this guy is 2 hexes out of, he only has 2 movement points. All right,
What about him?
that's a formed unit right there.
Oh, so it is. Sorry, I don't know why I was just. All right, very good.
So disorder
Meaning
checks first.
he really only has 2 movement points as long as he doesn't end within two at the end of the movement segment.
Yeah. All right, well, disorder checks here first, and there.
Okay.
Fine. All right. So this one here.
Mm,
They're going to do one. Actually, they don't have to do that. Let's just move them into there.
that's two, isn't it?
2 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
What you doing, pup? Come here. Come on. What? What?
Now you've irritated him.
Well, for some reason, I have the old dog here in the room with me. She is not sure why she's here, and I'm not sure why she's here either.
Some days I feel like that.
Yeah, well, this one's the one that's over 15 years old. It's a German Shepherd Black Lab mix. Great
Mm.
dog, but she's gotten to the point where we think she's a little senile. There's times that she'll go to the back door and she'll be scratching on the back door to come in, and the dog door is like right next to it, and
Oh
nothing
gosh.
stopping her from just coming through the dog door. So we'll go
Yeah.
and we'll open the door and she'll just look at us. And she won't come in. Other times she'll come in and then 2 minutes later she goes out through the dog door and she's tapping on the door again. And you're just like,
Of
okay,
of course.
this is an interesting game we're playing, kind of a
So
thing. Yes.
so my cats do that to me all the time, and they're not even senile. They have no excuse
Yeah.
other
Well,
than just
they're just
wanting to
they're
amuse
just
themselves.
they're just messing with you.
Yeah,
And now I got
exactly.
the other dog. I don't know.
I'm actually, I am going to change this guy. I'm going to turn him first and then move into that with the, so
Okay,
I want him to be face that when the officer was going with them.
right. Yep. All right.
They do a disorder check. Oh, and they disorder.
So if it's a 1-0, it's a 10. If it was a 0 something else, then it would be a special.
Yes, it would.
Okay, all
And where's the,
right. Come on, isn't Agnew
um,
good enough to whip those boys into shape? Shocking.
Well,
it's not.
he will the beginning of next turn, just not yet.
All right. Well, this is your
All
big
right,
opportunity to
so
counterattack.
Yes, sir.
Michael, just hit them. Hit them while they're
Yes,
disordered.
sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, half, 3, 1, 2, 3. Disorder check. He's fine. All right, so and the artillery go 1, 1, 2. I guess I can go one more with this one here. That's 2.
So, David, is there a reason why you didn't push your skirmishers in adjacent to him, or
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, well, that's good. That's kind of a
Okay.
relief.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm glad that there is some method to the madness. Channeling your Napoleon.
Mm-hmm.
Maneuver sur derrière.
Who knows if it's gonna work, but probably not. But hey, at this point,
What the heck?
what the heck is correct? And we'll flip over. Yep. Okay. Oops, I flipped over everybody. I don't want to do that. All right. Somebody else's roll.
It's your roll.
Oh, it's my roll?
I was the one who got us that
Okay.
brilliant.
We got another one. Other
All right.
activation.
Why don't you go ahead and move the third? See if you can
Move the third.
put them into some
Let's
sort of
see.
combat.
And So, third. Go one,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. And we'll do a disorder check on them. Okay. All right. 1, 2. Oh, that's a 3, isn't it? Disorder check on them. Oop, I think they disordered.
Yeah, because don't you have a? Is there a penalty for the disorder
I
check
don't.
for movement at night, or?
Yeah,
Well, no,
it's
no, no.
plus
Hold
10.
on. I'm trying to
Well, I mean,
figure
you
out
rolled a
why.
19 anyway, so.
No. I'm trying to figure out why he spent 3 movement points.
I went into your zone of control.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I forget that one all the time. So yeah, it's plus 10
Okay.
for the nighttime
Right.
specific one.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, where everybody's. Um, let's see how Cornwallis. I want to get him one. Cornwallis, I want to get him up to here, I think. All right. Your roll.
Gadzooks.
Yeah, that's another American activation. And does that push the? Yep.
No, but we're at the number 5 now, so
Yeah.
it's
I'm running out
we're
of
getting
running out
we're
of time.
getting down to the end there. That's for sure. Let's take a look. What else we need to do up here? Um, I guess I need to find who's the commander. Scott of the 4th Virginia. And right. All right. So they are there, and what is it? Gentle slope. It's 1 in the upstream direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I'm just gonna take a look around, see if there are any other 4th Virginia units I need to deal with. I don't know that there are.
I mean, you
Third
got
and
these guys.
Yeah, I think 3rd and 4th Virginia are just kind of mixed up along the front. Oh yeah, there's some more of them are down here. But I think these guys in the back are all Pennsylvania. Right. Okay. So then really, I think the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy. This is a mess because if I do that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, that works. That's 1. That's 2, 3. And then that's 4. So we'll roll him a disorder check. So he's okay. And let me rearrange everybody here. Yee!
That's a bit of a mess.
There we go. I think that's what I want. Oh,
Well,
no,
you've got
no,
to
no,
get
no, no, no,
the
no,
hit
no, no.
markers
Yeah,
aren't in the proper
yeah, yeah,
spots.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I see it. I see it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten. It's a little bit unusual to have artillery having taken increment losses, so I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
But
I
there
mean,
we
I
go.
normally just highlight the stack and then you can use the arrow key to move stuff up and down or change the order. So,
Is that right?
yeah, yeah, your little side to side arrow keys
I'll be darned.
can
I
change stuff.
I I'm sure I would end up like rebooting my computer based upon my experience with
Uh
the
oh,
keyboard shortcuts in this
can't let
Vassal thing
can't
here.
let that happen.
No, no, that will not do. All right, so that's it. There's nothing else to do with those guys. Because that's a that's a third, so he'll fire when he activates. So all done. Who's next? Eric.
All right, here we go. Oh,
Hey
here's a special
hey
thing.
now. All
A
right.
zero
That's a that's
seven.
a
So that's an
seven.
American 7. Pick one
Yeah,
command for a free movement segment only.
really?
That's what it says. Pick
Well,
one command for free movement segment only. Initiative required.
okay. Well, then I will totally go for these guys, Whedon and his fellas,
Okay.
because why the heck not? So let's roll and see if I get anything out of that. Nope, I get nothing and like it. Why don't you
Okay.
roll again, Eric?
Well, an 11.
Well,
That's
that's an
us.
activation
Yeah.
for you.
All right. Do we have anything else left to move up in your part of the world?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Just howl if I want to, and on our last activation, we'll figure out
Okay.
if we want to move him.
Well, what can I do? I've got. I mean, we didn't figure out what to do with my leaders that were dead, right?
Oh, boy, that's a
Because
good
yeah,
point.
because we had those two
Yeah.
guys.
What
Um,
uh what was their story? They were
they were supposed to come back on as, I
um
guess, reinforcements or
well, they come on
replacements or whatever.
when their formation activates.
Okay.
The replacements show up. That's how that works. Um and boy, unfortunately we never did identify where any of the the replacement leader markers are because they just don't appear to be in this vassal module,
Yes, that seems to be an
which
oversight. So
which
I
really
do have the
disappointing.
game, and David and I were talking about this. So I do have
Hmm.
little chit things I guess I could pull, but I'm
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the trick is just
Now,
remembering it.
when it's the A and the B one, is the all the A's the same?
No,
no,
Okay.
they're
no,
all
no,
a mix, higgly
no.
piggly.
The A's are qualitatively different than the B's, but each of them is over our range.
Yeah. So not all the
So
A's are the
if
same.
so, what we ended up doing when this happened at Monmouth, I mean, it was ridiculous. But I mean, I literally just had the counter sheet sitting here, and David rolled the die, and I just looked it up on the counter sheet which one he was talking about. I mean, it was absurd, but what else could we do?
Right.
Short of just bringing them back, but we remember them for purposes of army morale and
Right.
just bring them back exactly as they were. I don't really know what else to do.
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, because when I looked at the actual physical game, all they had were the little chits with the random
That's right.
thing on it. They didn't have an actual counter that
Right.
was
They
a
didn't.
replacement leader
Right.
kind of
Because
counter.
that's something that they really started doing later. Certainly by Prague, they were actually putting, named replacement leaders that
Right.
you'd use that were just leaders on their own. And Paul Borchers gets one, and I mean everybody who's involved in the series who has a name that's plausible, gets their name added to it.
There you
Why
go.
not? um and and then with the older games, there was just this different system where you'd actually have another chit that modified the base behavior.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, especially given that we're getting late in the game and it probably isn't going to make a lot of difference, I think the only thing that I feel like we ought to do is we ought to just make sure that we've made note for purposes of morale check purposes
Right.
that these two guys got lost, and then just bring them back just like they are. I mean, it's just too much trouble to keep track of modifications to them.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, if
yeah.
that's all right with you, it's
Yeah.
just
That's
it,
fine.
it
I'm
seems like
not
it's more
gonna.
trouble than it's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah, it's probably not going to make any difference in the long run.
Exactly. That's the
Okay.
thing. Ultimately, it's too late in the day to matter much.
Okay. All right. Well, this guy was
I mean, I doubt if either one of them are going to end up in battle before the end of the game.
no, and they just show up anywhere when their thing gets
Yeah, when their formation gets activated, they get placed with any of the units in their formation.
right. Okay.
And so, which formation are you activating?
Um, that's a good question. What do we have? We've got the second. That's the first,
Right, because Grant
and
was
that's
one of
the
the guys that
second.
got wiped out,
Yep.
and Grant was the one with the special ability to join the first and second together.
Right.
So his replacement would really only be the second,
Right.
Right.
and the first would now be a separate brigade.
Yeah.
And then who was the other guy? The other guy was Cleveland.
The other guy was just a ADC, Cleveland.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so
Yeah. So he
no,
doesn't
no
really.
harm done there.
He doesn't really
Okay,
matter. I just plunked him down just so we'd have him out of the
sure,
way. All right. Well, I'm
sure.
not going to activate the second yet.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
so I will do. Well, actually, this is part of the second, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yeah. One, two,
Happens to
three,
be
four.
stacked with the first leader, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay. Well, I'll activate that one. I guess that is
Yeah,
the
well, just
second
go ahead
after
and
all.
stack the second on top then, and away you go.
Okay. Cool. So these guys will automatically recover from being disordered.
Right. And of
And let's
course,
see
this
who else is.
that guy's going to be out of command because he's too far away.
One, two, three, four. Oh, what do you mean?
He's only got a 3 rating.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. I'm spoiled. I'm used to. I've been looking at all of these Americans with a rating of 4.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
We're all loosey goosey, us Americans.
Yeah. Now I've got somebody over here that's part of the second who is disordered.
That's right. He is. Wait a minute.
He'll be out of command, but
Oh,
do I roll
wait.
for?
No, absolutely. He is out of command.
Right.
He is in road column, shaken and disordered. So, all right. So, just a couple things to think about. So, because he's so many hexes away,
Right.
he is out of command. That
Right.
halves his movement.
Yep.
Because he is disordered, that halves his movement.
Right.
So he literally has 1 movement point.
But don't I roll to see if it recovers from disorder?
Oh, I'm sorry. Of course you do. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's out of command. So as of right now, he'd be half of half.
Right.
But you're right. If he
Yeah,
ends up
let me
recovering,
Go ahead and roll.
okay.
32, and that's
That's
going to be a minus 10 or something? Minus.
No, it's +5. So yeah, if he's 27 or better, he's okay.
All right, let's flip him over and see. He's
Yeah.
at 24.
All right. So they're just shaken,
All
and that's
right.
for the whole stack.
Oh, okay.
Because
He was the top unit.
yep, exactly. And so just shaken now means that he's still halved for being out of command, but he's not halved for disorder anymore. So he actually has 2 movement points. But remember, the the nighttime rule is if you use more than half.
Right.
So effectively, he's got 1 movement point unless you're willing to take another die roll. On the other hand, he's in road column, so he could
He could
certainly march a
go. I
ways.
mean, but road column is only worth 2.
Uh,
It's
yes,
yeah,
it's half.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he could
So
move there
this
without.
is 1 movement point,
That's
Yep.
and
correct.
this would be 2 movement points
That's right, and then a disorder check
and a disorder check because being
because because
shaken.
he no
Oh,
because
because he's out of
the
command.
well yeah well the nighttime restriction is if you moved more than half of your movement points. Well, because he's out of command, he only has 2 movement points.
Right.
Wait a minute.
So if he actually uses
Well,
both of them, then he needs to roll for disorder.
Right. So he can move here.
wait a minute. Wait a
What?
minute.
What?
Units perform isn't. I, I'm not sure if he. There was special road march restrictions on the light conditions. They weren't as quite as
Oh,
restrictive.
you are right. You are right. A unit
Right,
whose
which is why
movement
he's
unit
only
turn
worth-
consists only of road movement does not make this disorder check.
Okay, so he can
Okay.
move his 2 and not
Yeah.
make the disorder
Yep,
check.
he can
Yeah.
move the 2 and be good to go, but you do need to make sure to bring along the increment marker and the formation marker
What?
and the shaken marker.
What?
Well, I mean, just saying.
I know. All right. So if I highlight this and then I just press the arrow key, it puts it underneath there.
Wow.
And then I can go ahead and
Wow. He's
put
teaching
that
me.
on top.
He's teaching me.
And then I'll just set that right there. Let me, and then
He's
I'll
just giving
close.
back. I taught him some stuff last week.
Hey, that's great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, and these guys will go here, and that'll go there too. And let's just go ahead and put the shaken on top so we know that's there. Shake and bake. All right, so that's that guy. This guy's out of command, so can he do anything at all, or he can only move?
Yeah,
He's got
two movement
Two
points.
movement points.
He's got half of his usual movement points.
Okay, so he could go 1 to go there, I guess.
Sure.
And then I guess that would be what, 2 to go there?
Yup.
Okay. All right. And then these guys.
Now he would have to roll for the disorder because he used his whole movement.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Because he's not in road column.
Here, let's go ahead. Let's go nuts. 85. He
Oh,
doesn't
he's-
care. They
okay.
practice marching in the dark all the time.
Absolutely.
They are so good at that.
The officers leave him in the dark at every opportunity.
Okay. All right. So now I've got these guys. What should I do with them?
Right. Now they, of course, have their full
Full
movement.
potential, indeed. So, who can
But I
go
left that
chasing
big
after?
threat hiding behind Piles Mill.
Oh yes, it is. It is a huge threat. I am
Mhm.
justifiably concerned about it.
Absolutely. I mean, we let loose. There's maybe one ball going to make contact with one of your soldiers. I'm not screwing around here.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to move up the Queen's Rangers. I'll include them in this activation,
Mm-hmm.
so they can go half. And then I guess if they crossing over the stream doesn't cost them anything in skirmish, so that would be 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then this would be 1.5, and that
Mhm.
would be 2.
Yeah, it sure would.
Good. And then these chaps going into the marsh is 1, and then this is going to be 2. And where should I go, David? Should I go into Piles Mill? I guess I could do that. Why the heck?
That, or you could go there or there. It doesn't matter, either one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like 3.5 to move into there.
Oh, because it's a
So
Zoc.
yeah,
Okay.
so all good, all good. All
All
right. What
right.
about the
These
actual the
guys.
40th and fifty
Yeah.
fifth foot?
So that's half, and that's one, and that's another
Oh
half.
goodness, I'm
Oh no,
sorry.
you're right. It's one because they're in line. So that's
Yeah,
one,
well, you know
two.
what? I want to apologize because I let that guy make a move that he couldn't make
Why not?
because they were doing oblique marching.
Oh, so they would have
Remember,
to.
you gotta alternate
Oh
if
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
going,
yeah.
otherwise you got to spend the extra movement point. So actually, he
So
had
he would
moved
go there.
if
He
you
would go
wanted to
there.
move him a second, yeah,
I
a
might keep
second
him
Oh,
back
movement.
then.
actually,
I might
You
keep
might
him
keep him
back and
back and
turn on him.
rotate him.
Yeah.
okay.
That
All right.
honestly probably make more
All right.
sense.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. We can do that. All right.
The
And then
other
I,
thing to consider
yeah,
is at this point, do you want to make sure, yeah, Grant is somewhere out in
yeah,
the middle where he can
yeah.
actually
So
control
now he should
everybody?
be able to have,
Yep.
everybody.
Everybody should be in command for the next
Yep.
activation.
Okay. All right. So we will
Yep.
flip him over.
Alrighty. Very good.
Okay. That's it for me.
Very good.
Time for somebody else to.
I think it.
It's
Um.
David's turn, I think.
I think it is. I
Yeah.
think it is.
55. That's
So
another
it's
one
Get
for
Ross.
another one for the bad
Another
guys.
one for the Brits. All right. Well,
So you got the first, and then you got the Hessians.
yep. So, gosh, there's not a whole heck of a lot of exciting stuff I can do. The Hessians are kind of in bad shape. Um, let's see. Going from here to here, what does that cost again? Does that cost? Am I going down a slope yet or not yet?
Uh, that's. I don't even think that's a slope.
Well, it's got this thing called gentle slope.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It is. But going down, even in line, doesn't
It
cost you
doesn't
anything.
cost you anything. It's just
Uh-uh.
going up. Okay, so if
Going
I
up,
go
right.
there, that's one.
Uh, yes.
Yes. Okay, and then this would be two, and then if I pushed it any further forward, well, I can only prolong with my guns too.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
think they can prolong too because they're
I think
regimental
they.
guns,
Yep. They
Yeah.
can.
right?
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So
But what
yeah,
I
that would be
can
as
do
far as they could
is,
go.
let's see, can I unlimber my other regimental guns?
Um,
Is there a reason to?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I can't shoot
probably
anything
not,
yet.
actually.
Okay. All right. So that's that, and then these guys will go. One, two, and then I've got these chaps here. They're automatically going to come out of being disordered, so they will just be shaken but not stirred. And they're in road order. One, two. So I guess they can get about that far.
Mm,
Yeah, because they're in road. So
yep, yeah.
yeah. Okay, and then these guns, there's no point even moving them at this stage. They're not going to see any combat.
Well, I mean, especially because with one hex range, boy.
Yeah, yeah, you have to get them adjacent, so that's not going to happen.
Mm,
Okay, so that should take care of things with Stim. Steam. So let's go ahead and flip Stim over. Okay, all right. That's my exciting move.
very exciting. I will roll for the next initiative roll. Let's see what we get. Well, after all those super high numbers, we're promptly going right down to the low numbers. So that's one for you if you want it, over to the first brigade, I guess.
Yes. So First Brigade. I don't know that we can do much. Our commander is here, and everybody's
Right.
out of range right now.
Yeah, I
We
think so.
can we
So
can roll to see if those guys will recover from disorderedness.
you
So
bet.
let's go ahead and do that. 38 minus 5 is going to be a 33. Am I understanding it correctly?
No,
And being half dead doesn't affect it. That's only for the
no. That's
that's
a
only for
for
the
most,
shaken thing.
pretty much most morale checks
Morale
or
check.
care about
Okay.
stuff like that, but disorder checks don't.
Okay.
In fact, hell, it's easier to keep order if there's only half of you alive.
All right. So they have recovered. Do I have to roll for the other guy, or if the top one passes, they all recover to
Well, no, it applies to the stack.
the
Yeah.
stack? Okay. All right. So then this guy is
It's only a
also-
route recovery that's
In fact, truthfully, there's no reason to have a marker on both of them because all that does is suggest that they could be different.
Okay. Well, that's what I was asking. So
Yeah.
cool. All right. And this guy's already set. So and they can only move half. Because they're out of command.
Yep.
Right.
Right. So they got 2 movement points. They're in march column.
So that's going to be half,
That's-
and that's going to be 1.
That's 1. Yeah.
And this guy is in road column, so he can move. He can move right to
he can move.
here.
Yeah, he can move up to the
Yeah.
other one.
Yeah. Just
He
stack.
could be on
stack.
top of it if you want, because you've
Oh,
got
okay.
enough.
All right, and they're all shaken anyway, so what the heck not? Okay. Come on, guys. Move on top. There we go. All right, and then I can move my brilliant leader. Oh, wait, I've got these guys are in command. So, and they haven't moved yet. Or
Nope.
they've gotten repulsed. Oh, those are the guys that have spent the last 5 hours
Dragging their way
moving,
forward.
Yeah, trying to get across.
We're here.
Yeah, so we're
Oh, the
gonna
battle's
go-
over? What a shame.
So we're gonna go half, and then we're gonna turn. Whoops, and then we'll go another half. So that's gonna be 2. So we should be
All
good
right.
at this point. And then I'll move my leader here. I don't think he has any benefit to morale, but at least he's centrally located to keep everybody happy. So that will be it for the first brigade.
All
Okay.
right.
Exciting, exciting.
Magnificent.
All right, it's back to me, I guess. You roll.
I think it is, yeah.
Here we go.
I think it is.
67. That's going to push it over the edge.
That is, and it is a tie, so you need to roll again.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that's not going to push it forward.
No,
If it
but
was a
it doesn't
tie-
matter
If it was a tie, why did it push it forward?
because it was more than
Oh, okay.
it was
So
more
even
than
if it-
10.
Even if it doesn't activate anybody, it
Oh,
still
yeah.
counts. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's all sorts of insanity involved in the die rolls there.
Okay. So we're in the end turn phase anyway.
We
right?
are
Yeah.
in the end turn, so there's just limited activations from here on out.
Right.
And if memory serves, let's see, I've got that command hasn't activated yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess first Pennsylvania hasn't activated yet, come to think of it. And then I think third Virginia hasn't activated. So I think, keep me honest here, I think I got 3 that haven't yet.
I believe you
Is
are
that-
correct.
Does that sound plausible?
Yeah, because we moved. So there's only those 2 commands down south
All right.
that hadn't done anything yet. So where do you want to
Okay.
go? South.
All right,
or
let's go up north and try to do something fun. So this will be the third Virginia, and where the hell is the commander for third Virginia? You'd think I'd know these
Isn't that
things.
Woodford? Isn't that him right here?
I thought he was fourth.
No, Woodford. Says
Oh no, he is third.
Virginia.
Sorry, fourth is right there. Never mind.
Scott.
It's just my army. Don't expect me to know who all these guys are. You don't like to get too close to these guys. They're just gonna fall over dead. You don't want to get too close.
I know.
All right. So, no disorder to recover from any of the units I can see. So we will just go ahead and go to fire combat. So that's the one hex I can hit with 6 increments. So I will do that. 6 increments times 4, 24, and it's
230.
into the woods. So it's 1 to 1.5. And away we go, 1 to 1.5. That's probably not enough. 1 to 1.5. Needed something a little bit more impressive.
Now it's got one of those exciting R results,
Yeah, which we're just, yeah.
which means
All right.
rejected.
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 So that's it. There's nothing else to be done there. He's just going to flip over, and that's that. And then whoever's turn it is to roll now.
All right.
David, I think it's yours, isn't it? David.
All
Yeah,
right.
I just rolled.
Here we go. An exciting activation for the British.
Yeah, but effectively it means it's one for me because you don't have any.
Well, no, I haven't moved Niephausen. I could move Niephausen. I've got this guy over here, which may eventually see combat. I mean, come on.
Well, you
There's
know
all
what?
kinds of wild stuff I can
By
do.
all means, in fairness, you did have that one extra formation you haven't done yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Niephausen himself has to activate with a formation, but that is a formation that he could activate with, yes.
So they'll move
Okay,
forward
well then by all means.
1 hex.
1 hex! Oh, I now see that I have been outflanked.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah. And then I think Niephausen will come up here, so he should be in the middle, keep everybody happy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, cool.
Very good.
All right.
All right, then I guess I roll.
1 second before that,
What's that?
I
You
just
want to move how?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do I need to
Yeah.
move now? No, I probably don't. He's nice and centralized there. It should be
Seems like.
it's Cornwallis. Yeah. So yeah, he's good.
All right. All right, well, I will roll.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
special.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What does
Guess
that
what?
mean?
Is that the American 4?
Yeah, it
A
is.
command for fire combat. Initiative required. Or close combat. Huh. You could shoot at us.
That's pretty funny because I think the only unit where that would make any sense is the one that literally just fired because nobody else is in range.
Well, no, you've got down here by Piles Mill, you've got some
Got
skirmishers you could shoot at.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, look at that. I mean, I got 2 increments to shoot. I mean, that would be a waste of time. I mean, I got a 1 to 1.5 shot here
There you go.
if I use this guy. So I will use that guy, and he actually is a pretty impressive commander. So I will have to work
Wow.
very hard to screw this up.
Oh.
And I failed. I tried so hard to screw it up.
What are you
But I
talking
failed.
about?
Failed to screw it up.
I failed to screw it up.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I wondered about it too.
I'm
for a
like,
moment.
okay, we're
wait, what?
into triple entendre here or something.
Yeah. Wow, that's really entertaining because, I mean, do I dare do close combat? Can I do close combat from a hook?
That's a good question.
I never have. Of course, obviously, this is an unusual situation. Ordinarily, it would never occur to me, but you're disordered. So it might actually be entertaining to try. I just don't know that it would be allowed in from a hook. So here we are looking. Close combat, close combat. Attacker designation. Only units in line, attack column, and general order can initiate close combat. Units in square, skirmish, march, road column, or hook formations cannot initiate close combat. It actually probably would have been pretty entertaining.
Would
But, Que sera. So in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and roll 1 to 1.5. I forgot to even recognize that, of course, it'd be -5 also on the 1 to 1.5 because of the size of the target being so small. No.
Poof, poof.
All right. Well, it was still fun. All right.
All right, we'll roll again. Roll a
I'll
4-0 now.
No, I didn't. I messed up. I'm really sorry about that.
Work on
All right,
it.
so I think it's just the 2 units down south at this point.
Okay.
So we've got these guys who are the skirmishers. They're not going to do anything. So I think I will just flip the leader over. And then, Eric, you get to roll the
Okay.
last one.
Here we go. No, that's yours again.
I'll be darned.
So that's the first Pennsylvania can keep running at top speed.
Right. And it's 8 during the movement, and then
Yep.
it's 4 during the rally phase. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. 2, 4, 6, 8. What a deal. All right. I think that's it.
All right, David. Is there anything left to roll for? Have you moved everything?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think everything's moved at this point, hasn't it?
We've all moved.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I didn't move my artillery unit on the road back there. But
Oh no! What were you thinking?
when I activated the
The
Fourth
fourth,
over
yes.
Bring them on up.
yeah,
Yeah, at this point, we'll just roll them into the enemy lines and then detonate the caisson. That will be how
You'll
we-
roll them. You'll roll them into Wimble's house. Is
Yeah.
what you're gonna do. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. Well, in that case, I believe it is rally phase time. Looks like I go first. So we will start with shaken units and then work our way to routed units. So let's just start up here in the north. There's a shaken unit right here. It is going to be plus 30. Half dead, shaken, plus army morale. So plus 30. And he does not become rallied. And then we'll just move on down the line. We'll get to these guys. They look like they are just plus 20. I say plus 20. I'm going to double check since they're in the middle of a line. Does that affect rally results?
So this is
I
a
don't
rally
think so.
attempt I. So
I think so, yeah.
plus 10 for being shaken, plus 10 for the army morale.
Yeah, supported line doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. All right, so plus 20 then. And he is not any better off either. He just wishes that the night would be over. All right, so let's get down to this fella down here. He is plus 20 minus 4, so plus 16. And there are no special results on rally results, so that's just a failed rally. Let's see, who else do we have? This fella here, stacked with Lafayette, so it's probably minus a lot, but it's going to be plus 20 minus whatever that is.
Oh,
This is
here's our
world
all
world
the potential
class.
special results that never showed up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so then we got another one here. That's going to be plus 20 minus 6, so it's going to be plus 14. Oh, what?
There you go.
I didn't know that was a possible result. Gadzooks. Okay, who else do we have? Do we have others? Those are all routed back there. Do I have anybody shaken up front? Oh yeah, the skirmishers way down here, down along the Nottingham Road, are
Yep, you've got some.
shaken. So they are plus 30 minus 4, so plus 26. That is not going to be enough because they're good, but they are not that good. And other than that, I think everyone's routed.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Am
Either
I not?
voluntarily or involuntarily.
Exactly. All right. Well, then let's go back up to the north and find. Let's see. I guess I've just got these 3 down here near George Brinton's house.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just start here. Of course, it's so funny. I got to flip these guys over to see if they're half dead or not. No, they're not half dead. Okay, so it's going to be plus 25, plus 15 for being routed, plus 10 for army morale, so
Right.
plus 25. That's going to be enough. And I need to put them in some sort of order. I will flip them over and I will make them shaken and disordered. I'll go ahead and put them in road march because it's the only way that they're ever going to get anywhere. And I will have them face that way. All right, so then we'll go to this next one, and he is also not half dead. So again, same thing, plus 25. 53 is exactly what he needed. So same thing, I will flip him over. I will shaken and disorder him. I will road march him, and I will flip him. I will yet again fail to collect the entire stack, and I will flip him around that way. All right, and now this last one, and again, what's the story here? That one is half dead, so that's going to be plus 35 minus 6, so plus 29. And that's going to be enough to lose another increment.
Ouch.
And keep running. 1, 2, 3, 4. Running down for Painter's Corner, or Painter's Crossroads, whatever they are. Okay. And then I've got the guys down south, some of whom are involuntarily routed and some are voluntarily routed. The voluntarily routed ones are allowed to move, but they're not required to move.
Right.
They can move as much as 4, so screw it, I'll just move them 4. These guys can move 4 also. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these guys are involuntarily routed here, so we'll have to roll for them. And I have to roll for them individually because there's 2 units stacked there. And what's the story with them? Neither one's half dead. Okay. So it's going to be plus 25 minus 8 because General Wayne's pretty serious. So plus 17. This will be the top unit. Plus 17. I don't think that's going to work because I think that would mean he'd have to be a 23, and he isn't. So he continues routing but doesn't lose an increment. And I think that this means that they actually have to separate. So like if you've got 2 units stacked together,
right,
and a combat result causes them to rout, they have to rout together.
Right.
They're not even allowed to route in different directions. They have to route together. But since you rally individually, as soon as one of them fails, he's going to go running away, and you're not allowed to stack with another routed unit. So if the second one fails, he's going to route also, but not to the same location.
Okay, that's good
At
to
least
know.
I'm pretty sure that makes sense anyway.
Makes sense to me.
All right, so I'm gonna.
I don't see anything that immediately contradicts this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of rare for that much stacking to happen anyway. To be honest with you, I think in the American Revolution there are a lot of tiny American units, um, which I think makes it more likely than it would be otherwise. All right, so we'll roll for this other guy. The other guy is just plus 25. He routes too. All right, that guy is. I think that's it for my guys then. I think that's it for my rallying.
Okay. Well, since we're down in the southern part of the map, if you don't mind, David,
Not at all.
Go
we
for it.
can go ahead and go. So we've got.
I don't have any that are shaken or disordered or
Yeah.
shaken or routed.
So let's see. These guys here are shaken.
Right.
So let's go ahead and the top
Remember.
unit is
Yep.
You only,
half
yeah, you
dead.
only have to.
The top unit is half dead, so that's
Right.
going to be a plus 20.
Okay, here we go. Nope, he's not going to recover. Do we roll for the other one, or if the top one fails, they both fail?
No, because you do it for the whole stack.
Okay.
The only routed units rally individually.
Individually. Okay, good to know.
Otherwise, it's the stack.
All right, then we've got these guys here, and they're all
Right.
half dead in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, indeed. So plus
Yeah.
20. Yep.
Okay, here we go. Well, they're going to
Aha.
recover.
Even with the lousy commander.
Yeah, well, he managed not to get killed yet, so
Oh, that's true.
You know,
Actually, he may be much
everybody
more
else-
talented than some of the rest of them.
everybody else is, hot stuff, and he's like, well, you guys go ahead and do whatever. Okay, let's see. Do I have anybody else?
Yeah, you got these guys back here.
No, I do. Okay, well, they
Yeah.
are not half dead. They're just slightly inconvenienced. So it's going to be is it a plus 10?
Well, it's
but a
plus
minus
10,
4?
minus 4, so plus 6
Okay.
to whatever their value is.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
They're happy. Happy Hessian warriors.
Oh, isn't that what you want, or happy
Yeah.
Hessians? Happy Hessians.
They're less likely to mutiny or go over to the other side at this rate, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I've got
Okay.
anybody else who's in any sort of bad shape
No.
at the moment.
And as David said, he doesn't either, in spite of my attempts. So I think that's it.
Okay.
I think then we can click the end turn button, which will undo a lot of it, but won't take off the tile marker. So I'll take the tile marker off myself.
We move to the 8 o'clock hour.
Right.
Okay.
And by moving to the 8 o'clock hour, we then have an army morale check. So given that it's awfully early, would you like to go ahead and do the calculations and go ahead and do the
let's go
army
ahead and do
morale
that
check?
now.
Even if we don't finish the turn, we could just at least get that done, because that is kind of a time suck.
Well, considering how many dead Brits there are lying higgledy-piggledy everywhere.
Higgledy and piggledy, exactly. I'm glad you felt the need to put it that way. That's good. All right, well, let's find out just how bad things are for the good guys here. I'm going to go mutter to myself as I do some math.
So where do you find the leader losses?
It's
Okay, so if you look,
Yep.
yeah, if you look at the leader loss chart for the leader himself, if you go all the way to the right, that furthest right box, it's probably a 5 or a 10 typically.
Oh, I see. So it's got the name of the leader under the wing commander, and then it tells you how many points.
That's right.
Okay,
Grant
so
for
So,
10.
Gray was worth 10 points, right?
right, and Cleveland's worth 3, it looks like. He's at the top right
Oh
column,
yeah.
the very
He's
top.
way up there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool.
All right. I need to mark some of these guys here. Where is everybody? LIB is gone.
All right. So let's see here. Who hasn't taken any losses? Let's see. The 4th is fresh. None of my artillery has suffered any losses. The 27th has lost -2. Let's see. The skirmishers already marked them. The 55th is -2. The 40th is -2. And the 5th is -2. 23rd is -4. And the 49th is -5. 28th is -4. Okay, do I just have 4 in each brigade? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So that's fresh. 23rd -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 49th. 28th, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 49th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's correct. The second. No, that's the 5th. I lost 2. The 40th is lost 2. The 55th is lost 2. The 27th is lost 2. And the second. The 10th. Where's the 10th?
3. And that is 2nd Pennsylvania. Okay.
In the dead box? No.
Good heavens.
It's just my handy dandy phone.
Yeah. You were just watching Doctor Who before this evening?
Yeah. When we have a TARDIS shows up on the battlefield, that will let us know it's time to worry.
That there's some weirdness going on.
Indeed.
Okay.
Data analysis shows too many variables.
No, not the variables again.
Yes, the variables.
Gadzooks.
Huh.
Oh, that's right. One of those 6th. And none there. None there. None there. Oh, right. Here we go. 8th Virginia. 4th Virginia. 8th. 6th. 8th. Where is it? 8th. There we go.
Data analysis shows too many variables.
Okay.
I'm missing
There.
a brigade. I'm missing a battalion.
Excellent.
Or these are regiments, I guess. I don't know where he is. All right, well, let's take a look at our Hessian friends. Combined. -6. The Lieb.
Okay, that's
-7.
That's the
Sleep is
15th
1, 2, 3,
Virginia.
4, 5, 6, 7. All right.
15th
4, 1, 2, 3,
Virginia.
4. Hmm.
There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at that. That is going to be 2, 3, 4.
All right. So then what, we tally up all the dead? Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's right. So you would tally up. Now you don't have any routed, so that
Yeah.
doesn't count. But usually, what you do is you lose, all the increments that are missing, and then all the increments that are routed, and
And
then
then I
any
got the
leaders,
leaders. Yeah.
and then add that up, and you come up with a total. It's 12, 15. Okay.
All right. So David, I've got what looks like 40 increments loss, and then 13 for our leaders. So that's 53.
Okay.
36, 37, 49.
So unless
And
I'm
then,
missing something, I think that's where we're at. So then,
and then I've got.
do we then record that somewhere, or?
Yeah, I mean, you actually would record it. I mean, strictly speaking, you'd record it on the Army loss chart. That you actually see there's tick boxes that you would do,
Oh,
and
okay.
you can see that every time you hit 15, it tells you that you've hit 15, and then you'd move down, you do the next set of tick marks, and so on till you get
Okay.
whatever number you're at. Um,
2, 4. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's going to be 50. 1, so 10, 20, 30, 40. So that's 30.
And you got
35.
Ferguson's rifleman, right?
Yeah, I counted them.
Okay.
So if that's 45, that's 50. 1, 2, 3, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Yeah, so I think we've got the box in the right place on the Army track thing.
okay.
So that's going to put us here at the plus 45 current losses level.
Right. I'm at 49 and a half losses plus another 8 routed. So that's 57 and a half. So just short of going into the 60 column. So I'm in the 45 column. I think last time I was on the 30 column. So I do need to roll again because this is a new column for me. So I think we're both rolling on the 45 column. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So I think the column that's in the updated rules was different than what's here in the
Yeah,
module.
I think you definitely want to use the one that was printed.
Okay, and I don't know that I printed that one out or if I have it handy here. But David, I'm sure you have it, right?
Yeah, somewhere here. Let's see where they are. All right, so the British one. All right, so we're rolling on what, the 45 plus one?
Right. And you've got the option, if you want, to reduce the die roll by one in order to reduce Howe's command rating to 2, and then we'd be even for initiative rolls. Otherwise, you can just roll straight up.
I think we should do that.
I think that's probably a good idea.
All right, so zero. So that means, well, right now the chart 0, 1 is a 0, 2, 3 is +3, 4, 6
Right.
is +5, 7, 8 is +7. Am I? Oh wait, yeah, that's
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and 9 is +10. So yeah, we'll take the +1 on that. So if you roll 1,
So you roll the die. You're our army commander.
oh, that
Pressure's all on you. A 7 becomes a 6.
becomes a 6.
Well, that mattered. That was enough to save you 2.
So what's our new
So
plus going to be?
+5.
We can live with that. And we were able to do that because our leaders were 3. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can only reduce your command rating to 2.
Right.
So I, for example, don't even have the option.
Right,
I have to
because
just roll.
Washington's a 2. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm on the 45 column. My 45 column is not the same as yours. That's not always the case.
Right.
It's sometimes not that way. But
What did
mine-
you have before you counted routed?
49.5 I had
Okay.
before I counted an additional 8 routed. And it's always funny to look and see how some units are so much worse affected than others. I mean, some with scarcely a scratch and others that have just been shredded. 19. And for all that the field artillery losses are halved, it still added up to 9.5 by the time I was finished because there were so many of them.
Yeah.
So, 45.5. So we will just roll and see what happens. It'll be a good time, whatever happens, you know that.
Oh, that's a good roll, I guess.
That was a good roll. So that gives me a +3.
So you're at +13 now.
13.
Oh, so you
versus
don't.
plus-
So you don't lose that +10. This just adds.
Oh
to
no.
it. Oh.
No, it's all
okay.
additive. You know,
Ah,
remember, if by some curious circumstance I hadn't exceeded 45,
right,
I wouldn't even roll again
right, because you're still
because I
at
already
the
rolled
same
in the 30 column.
penalty
So
that you were there.
exactly. And now the penalty never goes away. Almost.
Right,
The penalty can actually go away if you roll double aught for an initiative result. That army morale check is subtly different. And if you roll a natural 0, you actually get a -5 to your army morale. Obviously,
wow.
you don't count on that because obviously it took a double aught to get the thing to happen in the first place, and then
Right.
you had to roll another 0. So clearly, but obviously that would be a real plus.
Sure.
My goodness, to have, especially if the other guy's actually rolling and adding to his army morale, and you get to subtract 5, that could be enough to dishearten the other player, and that'd be that. Okay, well,
So we will have a plus. What's our new
Five.
plus?
Five.
+5. And
Plus
you've got a
five.
+13. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So I must confess some bitter disappointment that I didn't get that extra movement for these guys southwest of Dilworth. I figured I could make life interesting for your skirmishers if I was able to get another movement phase in. That was a little bit disappointing. As it is, I doubt that they're really going to have any effect, but that's life. So anyway, um, interesting, interesting stuff. Um,
Okay,
definitely
so
would,
we'll
definitely would.
remember then the Americans. So at the 8 p.m. are plus 13,
Yeah,
and the Brits are plus 5.
right. So yeah,
Okay.
you just make a note of that in the bottom right of the loss sheet so you can remember, have I rolled on that column before and what was the result and all that kind of jazz. So, all right. Well, I guess we got three more turns. And
Yes, yes.
and David's going to try to finally actually have the battle he's been trying to have all day.
Yes, he's
And
finally going to
those
come to grips with you.
right, and those skirmishers are quite disturbing because obviously my flank is just hanging in the air, and I think they're going to cause me grief. Not helped by the fact that I couldn't rally my way out of a damp paper bag. So I suspect that my line is going to look like Swiss cheese here very shortly. Oh well, what can you do?
Well, and did you say it's worse to be shaken when you are assaulted, or is it worse to
Yeah,
be disordered when you're assaulted?
it's really worse to be shaken because by
Okay,
being shaken, there's first of all it well, first of all, if you start shaken,
right.
then you may just rout with your pre-melee morale check,
Ah, okay,
because obviously that would be the next step.
right.
If you are shaken, well, that's -5 to your combat value. Effectively, it moves the die roll by 5.
Oh,
It's a
okay. That's pretty
pretty big
nasty.
difference,
Right.
right? So yeah, you don't want to be in close combat
When you're shaken.
shaken.
Yeah.
Disordered is not great because it reduces your increments by half, so that's not lovely.
Right.
But I would submit that a die roll move of 5 is probably bigger than a column shift, which is kind of effectively what you're probably looking at. So, and it makes sense if you think about it, right? I
Right.
mean, people with shaken morale, they don't really want to come to blows with the enemy. They
Right.
want to get the hell away. So that makes perfect sense that would be how it would work.
Yeah.
So,
And so at this particular point, I mean, just kind of looking at your line there by Dilworth,
uh-huh.
um, you can't really. I mean, it's my understanding you can't really uh, can't really pull your line back, can you? Because it costs so much to about face and everything else. You're pretty much stuck there
Well, you can
unless
do
you
what's
voluntarily route again, kind of a thing.
no, no. Well, that's a fair point. You can do what's called a line backup.
Okay.
Line backup it's I think it's double the usual movement factors to
Right.
move one hex in reverse. It requires a disorder check at the end of it,
Right.
um, and um and obviously if you backed up 2 hexes, well then you'd be doing that disorder check as well.
Right.
So clearly, I sure can't move very quickly backwards,
Right.
but
So
yes, I
so you
could
you
move
could move
backwards.
back one hex
Yes,
potentially.
yes,
You
that's right.
okay. And that would cost you
Two
two
movement
movement points
points,
to do that.
right?
Okay.
And then the 2 movement points. Well, you. I mean, that's all the movement points you can effectively use without running into more risk of even more trouble.
Right. Now,
So
does it still
obviously,
follow the same sort of zigzag thing?
yeah,
Okay.
it would.
Okay.
Right. Of course,
So
if
if
you're
you
only
were to go
going
back
one,
two, then you'd kind of
you'd
do
have
the
to go
zigzag.
zig and
Okay.
zag. That's right. And you can't oblique march while doing reverse marching
Okay.
anyway. No, no, no. I'm sorry. Disregard.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the truth is you're going to run out of movement points in a hurry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of a funny thing when I played a game of Fontenoy um, where the where Cumberland and the British went through the woods off map and then showed up well to the left of where they showed up relative to the French. So
Right.
effectively, what I was just trying to do is just get around the field works.
Right.
And the thing is, it's very hard to disengage.
Yeah. No.
You
That's
know, you can march forward, but marching backwards is really hard, and so it kind of just becomes this black hole effect as both sides keep feeding stuff into the scene of the crisis until
right.
somebody falls to pieces and runs away. Um, it it makes a fighting withdrawal even more complicated than it is under any other sort of era or technology, right? Because it's just very hard to move away. And of course, if you back up and you leave yourself disordered, well, then you're just begging for, somebody to come charging on up to you because now you're at half combat strength in addition to all your other troubles. By the
Right.
way, being disordered also would add 5 to your pre-melee morale check. It would also
Right.
make your defensive fire half strength. So, there's a lot of downside to that. I don't know. I figure he's going to hit me. He's probably going to rip the line into pieces because there are several of those stacks, in addition to the fact that many of them are shaken. Some of them are only a couple of increments.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm actually perfectly thrilled to see that you've got a +5 roll because that just increases the odds that you're going to maybe miss a unit or two uh, when it comes time to close for close combat.
Right.
And maybe that'll make the odds a little bit better for me. But you know what? It's like the the, the story of this was written long, long time ago. We're just playing out the end of it.
All right. Well, very cool. Well, this was fun. Well, thank you guys for a fun little session here,
Yeah,
and
yeah. We're
I'm looking forward to, I guess, the amoeba that is David's skirmishers that are just going to just lap around your line there, I guess, and
I certainly imagine that's what they're going to try.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So sure, why not, right?
yeah. That's
So yeah, we'll see that, and I will slowly bring up my really lame secondaries and try to make it painful for them, but it's going to be slow.
well, that's the story of the American Revolution. Make it
Yeah,
painful for
till
them.
von
Make it so
Steuben shows up.
painful, and then make it painful enough that the Brits
Just go
withdraw.
home.
Exactly.
That's it.
So,
That's it. All right, campers.
all
Well,
right.
I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you here same bat time, same bat station.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I mean, I've got an archery tournament in the morning, but I'll be done with that early on, so that shouldn't be an issue. So, should be cool.
Good stuff.
All right. Be well,
Is
guys.
and tomorrow night's on?
Yeah, tomorrow night we're on for Lenny. I think it's the French get their revenge. It's our turn, so we'll see
Revanche.
what sort of
And
excitement we can pull off.
what time are we starting that? Is that
So 7
actually
o'clock.
7 o'clock yours?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll double
So,
check with Robert, but I know that we were trying to get together at 7
okay.
7:15 maybe. So I'll see what his schedule is because he's driving from work and so sometimes it can get a little sticky there on the freeway. So, all right, well, be well, everybody, and
All right.
and